Tuesday morning. We're all ready to learn all about Google. So hopefully you all are joining me to learn about Google Forms and quizzes. Let's get started. So the first page, it says make sure you're registered in ELM. So it's one class in ELM, and that will be good for the entire semester. So that's good through December 21st. So make sure all homework for everything is turned in by December 21st at the latest so that I can give you points. You also need to sign in for attendance. The link is below and above this message, this website. So actually, let me copy it for you and I'll paste it in the chat window as well. And a lot of you are saying, well, where's the chat window? So let's talk about that for just a second. Let me just type sign in. There you go. So if you are at the weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org page and you hover your mouse over the screen you're watching this in the bottom right corner, you're going to see where it says YouTube. If you click that YouTube link, it will take you to the YouTube page to watch this. Now, unfortunately, when you do that, it gets fuzzy, as you can see. So what I need you to do, and you're going to see screen and screen, and I apologize for that, but click this gear, and you'll be able to adjust the quality to 720, and it will all of a sudden become clear. So that should help you quite a bit. So go ahead, click that gear, make it 720, and all will be well in your world. Okay, so moving on. My name is Melissa Matthews. I'm here to teach you Google Forms and quizzes, which is so awesome. I work in the Department of Educational Technology, and my job is to teach teachers technology. So this is a great way to do just that because I can reach all of you virtually, and you don't have to get up and move and go anywhere, which is awesome. Seeing on my page, it's spinning, so I'm hoping that on your page it's okay. Okay, moving on. So in our department, we have this wonderful website, palmbeachschools.org/edtech. And under classroom technology support, all of those sites are things that our district supports. So please take a minute to go through there and find out any information you want about Discovery Streaming, the digital divide, document cameras, all sorts of stuff. It's all there for you. So feel free to go and research. So why do we use Google Forms and quizzes? Well, you need to collect data. You need grades in your grade book. You want to see who gets it in your classroom, right? You need to know how to spend that A+ school money. You need to know where everybody wants to go for the annual Christmas party. Any kind of data that you need to collect, even if it's just everybody needs to turn in their form to you and you need to collect all their forms, but they're physically in all sorts of different locations and it's easier to turn it in electronically. Or maybe you want that document electronically and you don't want to have to scan it in. Make them get it to you electronically. So all of that does that. The other reason, I hate grading papers. I want Google to just grade everything for me. Well, it can do that. So let's look and figure out how. So if I click Google Forms and Quizzes, I want to know what by typing a yes or no in that chat window. So if you're at the YouTube link, and I know a few of us just joined me, but in the bottom right corner, if you click that YouTube link, it'll take you to the YouTube site to view. Some of you are already there. I know Giovanna and Shelby and Dawn and Judy are already there. But if you go in there, you can just type yes or no so that I know, have you ever used forms before? Yes, you have. No, you haven't. And I see a couple of people that wrote yes, they have, almost all so far that have typed. So yes, you have seen Google Forms, which is awesome. So some of this may be a review, but hopefully a lot of it's going to be new to you. I do have one no so far, so that's cool. So moving on. We're going to go straight into the live view because there's nothing easier to follow than live views. So here we go. I escaped out of my presentation. I'm going to go into a new tab. I'm going to click on my app selector, and I'm going to go down to where it says Forms. So now I'm in a Google form. So you can see there are pre-built templates for you. So there are exit tickets, blank quizzes, assessments, worksheets, all sorts of stuff already pre-built for you. And these are actually the ones that I have created before, so we're going to ignore those. We're going to make a blank quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and start by clicking blank quiz. And I'm going to title it Weekly Webinars. And I'm going to make this one the AM one because I'm sure I'll do one in the afternoon. Here I can write the description. Please complete my form so that I can get data, right? So I don't know about you, but I like things to be pretty. I want to know if they're pretty. That just makes me want to fill them out when they look pretty. So up at the top, I'm going to go to that color palette where it says customize theme. So I'm going to click the color palette, and here are my theme options. I'm going to choose a header. So I'm going to choose an image for my header, and I'm going to choose, I believe if I click other, that's where all the holiday stuff lies. I think. Let's see if I'm right. Chandeliers, all sorts of fun stuff in here. Nope, not in there. There's one for holidays. Maybe it's in another form. So let's go to food and dining because I'm all about Thanksgiving right now. So you know what? This is kind of cool. Do you see how the little blanket is waving in the wind? I love how they're live. The grill is burning. This is a birthday. She's actually moving this salad, which is kind of cool. Drinks. I don't know if that's, this kind of looks like Thanksgiving, but I think they're having Italian. So let's keep going. We're going to go with a Thanksgiving theme right now because it's just a couple weeks away. This is actually super cute. Not Thanksgiving, but really cute. Oh, I like that one too. Okay, so you can tell I've not been in this theme before. So we're going to pick one without wasting much more time. So I picked one, and I'm going to select it, and that's going to be my theme. And you can see how the colors automatically adjusted. But what's new in Google Forms is that I can now change the background color to whatever I'd like and make it more engaging if I'd like to. So I can change whatever I want. I can even change the font. So I can make it formal and make it all fancy, or I can make it playful or decorative or whatever I'd like to make it. So I'm going to make it formal because I think I like that best. And I'm going to close the sidebar. So now my form is beautiful. So now I feel comfortable in going on. So I'm going to ask them questions. So what will your main course be for Thanksgiving? And let's give it some options. Let's make turkey and ham and brisket and filet mignon. I don't know, I'm running out of options. And of course, other, because those four may not be the ones that you are eating. You may be having sushi, so, or pizza. So there we go. There's my four. Notice it's a multiple choice. Now let's take just a few minutes and look at all of our choices for questions. I can have a short answer, which means it's about a sentence or less. A paragraph can be anything longer than a sentence to, I believe it can be paragraphs if you want it to be. Multiple choice means radio dials. And you can see here they're radio buttons, radio dials, whatever you want to call them. And that means you can only choose one response. The second option is check boxes, which basically when I do that, you see how it turned into boxes. Now I can choose as many as I'd like. Okay, so I can check, I'm going to have turkey and ham and brisket. So I can multi-select my answers. The third option here is drop down, which means it's going to list it. But when I go to view My form, see how I click and it's a drop down? And then I can select my answer. So that's a drop down. Okay. And then I'm going to make this multiple choice because that's what I wanted. The other options I have are, remember I said I need to collect those forms from you. I don't want them on paper because I know myself I'm going to lose them. I want you to electronically upload that document so I can have a file upload button. That file upload basically creates its own little folder in your Google Drive and puts a date timestamp on every single file that's uploaded and saves it for that person. So that's pretty powerful. I do not believe it names it from the person's name. I don't know actually how it names it, but that is the ability for you to upload everyone's file. I think what would be best for you is to tell them what to name it before they upload it. That way you will have the proper name in your file. So basically it can be as large as you want. There's some questions once you do that about how much of a collection do you want to save? How big of a file size do you want to save? So you have to just make it as big as it can get, and that way you're good. Remember that in Google, we have no limit for space, so it can be as big as you'd like. A linear scale. Linear scale is basically 1 through 5. You name what 1 is, and you name what 5 is. So 1 could be the best, 5 could be the worst. 1 could be a lot, 5 could be none. It can be whatever you want and anything in between. A multiple choice grid basically says, like, let's pretend that our options on the left are going to be turkey, ham, brisket, and filet mignon. And then the top is going to be what day of the week are you going to eat them? Sunday through Saturday or Sunday through whatever day. And then you pick multiple choice means you can only choose 1 per row. Checkbox grid means you can say you're going to eat everything every day of the week and check all the boxes. So it's up to you. The last 2 in here are the date. So it's going to pull up a calendar for you, and the time. So it's going to give you hour, minute, second to fill in those boxes. Make sense? Everybody good? Okay, moving on. This button here means that it's required. So if I turn that on, that means that you have to answer this question or you may not submit your exam or your report. This means I want to duplicate it. So what will your main course be for the winter holiday? I said Christmas, but for your winter holiday. So what are you going to eat for your winter holiday? Will it be the same? Will it be different? See how all I did was click that duplicate, and all I had to do was change 1 word, and I did not have to retype everything, which is pretty nice. I can also delete questions pretty easily. If I wanted to, I could go over where it says turkey and click that little add image and search for a turkey and add that in there. So here's my picture of a turkey. And then I could do the same for ham. And I'm going to do all 4, even though I know that you're probably going, why? I want you to see how it looks at the end. Thinking I may change my turkey picture, but for the interest of time, we'll leave the turkey the way it is. We got some brisket here, and we need some filet mignon. I love saying that. Sounds so fancy, right? Filet mignon. That one looks delicious to me. Okay, so now you see how this looks. My form is getting super long, and it looks super not so great. So get this. When I click view, look how it looks now. Much nicer, huh? So I wanted to show you that, yes, it looks pretty bad, I think, or at least long on the editing form, but when it actually comes out, see how beautiful they make it? So that is a great way to visualize what the people taking your form are going to see. Okay, so we have our questions. So we have 2. Should we add another question? So over here, you can see there's nothing here. I'm going to add a question. And this one I can say, what day will you celebrate Thanksgiving? And it went away. Okay, so do you see how when I write the word day, all the days pop up? I can add them all as my options, and then I'm going to cheat and I'm going to paste back the rest of my question. And so now they're all there. So maybe I know that most people don't do Monday, Tuesday. It's normally Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Saturday or Sunday. So I'm going to leave all that there and have that as an option as well. I love the way Google automatically predicts what it is it thinks you're going to want to have as results or as answers, which is nice. Let's see. So, okay. When we get responses, actually, let's do one more thing first. Let's go through these guys over here. I want to add a YouTube, and I want to add it up here. So I'm going to click YouTube, and I'm going to write in Thanksgiving. We need Charlie Brown, right? Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. So I'm going to select it, add that in there. Enjoy my video. And I could have put the name up there, whatever, but notice it went right up to the top where I wanted it. The other thing you can do is you can have section breaks. So let's say my first question is, will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? Okay, so yes, no, maybe. So add all. I'm going to get rid of maybe. So yes or no. I'm going to make it required, and I'm going to add a section break right after. So over here, I'm going to say that I want to go to a section based on an answer. I'm going to do that again because I did it quick. So my section break came right after. So I have the name, my movie, my first question. Will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? So here's my section break. I want to click go to section based on answer. So if they say yes, I'm going to celebrate Thanksgiving, I want to go to the next section. But if they're not going to celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm not going to ask them what they're going to eat on what day, right? So instead, I'm going to say, submit form, that they're all done. Or maybe I have another section for the winter holidays. So I may ask what holiday they celebrate and what they're going to eat and etc. And I will direct them to go to that section based on that answer. Make sense? Hopefully. How do you get to YouTube? So this little button here, add video. When I click that, it goes to YouTube. And then I type in whatever it is I want to search for. Okay, hopefully that helps, Judy. Okay, this guy here is just to add an image. And if I need a text section, that's what those T's are for. I can add a text section wherever I'd like. Okay, so now I want to make this a quiz. So before I even do that, actually, I skipped a step. I'm going to click this gear or the cog, and I'm going to say I want to collect all email addresses, which means it has to be restricted to Palm Beach County. I do not actually, I take that back. I can collect email addresses outside of Palm Beach County as well, but no, by default, this is checked. I'm pointing at the screen. Know that this is checked by default because it wants you to stay within the county. However, if you're making a form for people outside of the county, parents and such, you need to make sure that that's unchecked. Okay. You can have response receipts if you want, which means that if I filled out a form and I said, I want to go to these specific sessions in a professional development, I can get a response receipt. So that way, when the professional development actually occurs, I will know where to go. And then I'd probably want to make it always, or I could make it only if the respondent wants it. So I could give them that option. I could make it so they only can fill out my response once. So that way I don't have ballot stuffing. If you were doing your own little virtual ballot, we can figure out who's going to win, Rick Scott or Bill Nelson. We can do our own little internal vote. Not getting political. And then I can make it so the students can edit responses after they submit if they choose to. Or not. So whether it's a test or not, like for example, I was asked what size shirt I got or wanted. And so I filled out that I wanted a medium. And then I was told that the shirts were really, really, really small. So I changed my response because that edit button was on and I made it so that it was a large. So there you go. See summary charts and text responses. This is not going to show me who said what. It is going to allow my users to see, I chose A. Oh, look, all these other people chose A. So that's what that option does for you. Okay. Now, if I go to presentation, I can show the progress bar. So if you're going to give a really long questionnaire, always show your progress bar. Always. Because the progress bar, have you ever done that form where you're answering, and you just want to throw the form out because it doesn't seem like it's ever going to end? If you have a progress bar and it says you're almost done, you're more likely to finish than if you don't have that progress bar. So definitely have that. The next one is shuffle the question order. So what that means is when I'm taking those exams and all my friends are next to me, they're going to be on different questions than I am. So that's awesome. I can also say not even thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. And I can send that off. Now, if I want to make it grade itself, are you ready for this? Quizzes. I make it a quiz. I can have the grade released immediately after they say submit or later after I review it. Either way, up to me. I can also show if the respondent missed a question, if they have what the correct answers are, and if there's point values. If you have point value checked, you have to give points for every single question. So I highly suggest that unless you want to give points for every question, you uncheck that. I always uncheck that. And always click save on this because otherwise it will not remember what you want. And then as you go down, see how now I have an answer key? So it wants me to put points if I want. And the answer key is going to be there we go. So will I be celebrating Thanksgiving? The answer is yes. So you can see that's green and it's checked and I'm good and I can move on. Now, what will you be making for Thanksgiving? So I click on the question, I click answer key, and then I'm going to be making turkey because what else do you have on Thanksgiving? My husband wants to make brisket. I think he's a little weird. You need to make turkey on Thanksgiving. And then you move down. I'm going to have Thanksgiving on Thursday. So that's my correct answer. I believe you can have more than one right answer, as you can see. So if you wanted to select that Thursday or Friday is correct, then you could do that. And then what will be my main course for winter? He'll probably get his brisket then. So I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to say turkey and ham are okay too, but filet mignon we just normally don't have during our winter holiday. So I'm going to keep that off. I'm being very biased, as you can tell. And so that is my key. So now as I take this exam, I hit the eyeball to take the exam. And so I can watch my Charlie Brown video. Yes, I'm going to be celebrating Thanksgiving. So I click next, and it goes right into here. I'm going to have turkey for my meal. I'm going to have it on Thursday, and ham will be my winter holiday meal. I have the option to have a copy of my responses if I want, and I click submit. So I can view my accuracy because I said I could see the answers, and it says, look, I got 1 right. I got 2 right, 3, 4. So I did a good job. Now, if I wanted to do this again, I would go back to my exam, and you can see I have 1 response now. I'm going to give myself another. So I'm going to go back. Oh, I said that I could only take it once. So, ooh, should we do this? Let's click here. Let's click here, and let's paste that link in here. And don't all choose the perfect answer, but go ahead and click on my link if you'd like to, and let's get a few more responses. Oh, and you know what I forgot to share? See how I have no title right now, but I have a title over here. If I just click here, boop, my title goes in and I don't have to type it, which is so nice because it's just one less thing I have to type. So let's see, anybody responding to my, oh, I have 2 responses. So if I click here, as they come in, I'm going to get some immediate feedback. And it's going to just keep populating. Look, I have 4 responses, 5 responses. I can see who it is, what they're doing. It'll show me everything. So who's choosing what? Y'all know the right answers. And so I can see exactly what's happening. A lot of people like that filet mignon. I'm kind of with you. Okay, so we got some answers here. Good, good. So now see how it graphs it for you. Isn't it beautiful the way it comes out? So this is great for just a simple view to see what exactly is being submitted. However, if I click this green box here, I can create a spreadsheet. So if I click the green box, I can create a new spreadsheet, and I'm going to say create, and look what happens. This is cool. So now I have everything beautiful. I can click my filter if I'd like to. Where'd my filter go? It's over here. So I click the 3 dots. There's my filter. And now look, let's sort it alphabetically by their main dish. So filet mignon, and notice that all of the names go with it. I can also sort it by what day. Everybody chose Thursday, so that was the easy one. I can sort it by what they're having for their winter holiday. I think I got you all excited about filet mignon. I think it's all because of the way you say it. You have to say it with enthusiasm, right? Okay. We're going to go back because I've taught you almost everything about this now. So let's go back because we're also running out of time. And I believe there's actually a quiz in here. So add-ons. Oh, we didn't even get to add-ons. So if we go back real quick, if I go to my 3 dots, oh, this is important too. 3 dots. If I want people to co-create my form with me or my quiz with me, I can add collaborators here. I can get add-ons here. So I click get add-ons, and then there's all sorts of things. So form values is my favorite. Form notifications will send like responses to people. Choice eliminator. So let's say you only have 10 slots to have turkey and then everybody else has to have ham. You can make that choice go away with choice eliminator, and there's tons. So go through this. It's a free store. And then what's cool is when you add them all on, they're in that puzzle piece. That's where they are when you've added them into your actual form. Okay. If I want to send this, I click send, and I can send via email and type in my distribution group. I can send it via a link, or I can even embed it into a page, which is nice. When I do an email, I can click that I've included the form in the email if I want. I have to actually have a name. So, oh, maybe not. Some forms do not embed. Oh, you know why? Because if you have where the break, the section break, you can include the form in the email. So just so you know, that will not work. Okay. So we've talked about add-ons. I'm going to skip over my form here. So we've talked about add-ons. Oh, I had a test for you and everything. How about this? I'm going to copy that link for you. And if you'd like to take my test, here it is in the chat window. And we're going to move on. In that chat window, how in your role at your school site will you use forms? Go ahead and type that as I continue and talk about your homework. So your homework's super simple. Take the survey. It's once this time. Take the live attendance or be here live for attendance. So a lot of you are already here and you've signed in, so that's fine. And then just take a screenshot of you using your own Google Forms of what you learned and what you're now using that you didn't ever use before. All homework is due December 21st of 2018. And I actually need you to do one additional form, which I forgot to put in there. The ed tech, I forget every time to do this. I need to add a little slide. Hold on, it's coming up. I encourage you to get Google certified if you've not already. It is a 3-hour test. It is difficult, but it is something that everyone seems to be getting in our county. We have over 1,500 people already Google certified. In Palm Beach County, we are the #1 Google certified district in the world, I believe, which is pretty powerful. And I think that's it. Next time is November 27th after Thanksgiving. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving. In the chat window, I'm asking you to please complete this evaluation. And there's a little link there. If you could please complete that, click on that link and complete that. That's a short little evaluation. And hopefully it's not next week. Oops, sorry. That's part of it's in 2 weeks. Please join me in 2 weeks. There you go. For Discovery Education. So there's a new product called Studio, and it is dynamic. So Discovery Education themselves will be online with us, David Fisher, and he will be walking you through Discovery Education. It's amazing. So hopefully you will come and learn Studio. There's so many amazing things you can do with it. Not only in a classroom, but as a secretary, as whatever. It's phenomenal, this tool. So please join me for that, the 27th, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Any questions, go ahead and type them. Please make sure you fill out that form. And I'm going to go to the quiz that I gave y'all and see how you did. I got 2 responses, which is okay. You did not need to do the quiz. It was just for fun. Cool. Fun. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. Happy Thanksgiving.